Welcome back to Morning Detention. This is your Dean of Discipline. We are talking about school, high school, as it pertains to your teenager. We are on tip number 4. We're almost done. I got this tip, and I got one more tip after this, and I have gave you guys 50 tips on raising teams. What would happen after me giving you guys 50 tips? So this is morning detention, and I would switch over to like after school detention when I would just go, where I would just say tips as they come to me on Facebook. But I also want to do something else that's called in-school suspension, where I just go live and just ask people ask me questions, and I kind of blurt out the answer as I think of them. But anyway, we're on tip number 4. If you have not checked out the other tips, other 48 tips on 10 different topics, you should do it. Again, I can give you more tips on any one of these topics, but I decided to stay to 5 for each topic. So now let's talk about school when it comes to the grades of your teenager in high school. Grammar school, you got to think about this in grammar school. Think about this in grammar school, that you were one teacher for at least 6-7 years before you go to middle school and you kind of switch up 3-4 different teachers. But in high school, again, also in grammar school, even when you switch classes in junior high, most times you still with your same class, you in 2 straight lines, and you walking from one class to another. In high school, they trusting you to walk from one class to another on your own, right? And not in a line, like you can zigzag, crisscross, up and down, however you want to do it. Like they giving you too much freedom, but not a bad thing. It's probably growing up. But anyway, grading scale, like this is my grading scale in my house. It's kind of, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's nevertheless it's 1. So you know the grading scale A B C D E, A B C D F, right? So my kids get a report card. This is how I look. This is how I look at it. A, you got an A. I say, good job, you know. But and I encourage them and say, you know, keep up the good work. But in back of my mind, I'm like, that's what you're supposed to get. Not because you're smart. Like I don't never want my kid to get an A because I never tell my kid to get an A because they smart. I want them to get an A because I want them to try hard in everything they do. Even if you try to get an A but get a B, that's fine. Like I'm okay with that. But I need you to try hard to get an A, because if you try hard to get an A in school, then you'll try hard in every other area of your life. That's how I look at it. Then B, they get a B, I say that's nice, right? And I ask them, okay, is there anything you can do, you think you can do to get an A? That's fine, you can't. I just ask the question. But if there is a way you can try to get an A, sometimes I challenge them like, hey, you know what, you bring that up to an A, you extra $50 in your allowance, because I want them to try harder to get an A. I want them to, maybe it's participation, maybe it's getting the class I'm saying, I don't know. But I want them to look at that, right, and see what it is to get an A. And then C, right? C is still passing, so in my eyes, not bad, right? That's what I would say, right? But this is where I get concerned and say, do you need help in this topic? Like, some kids are not smart in every topic. You might be good in math, but you know, you kind of lack in reading. You might don't get social study. You might, whatever it is, you might need help. You might need tutoring. You might need extra work. You might need to sit, go on lunch break. Probably need to go eat and then go upstairs to your teacher and say, hey, I need help with this. But I asked the question. And if you say you need help, let's figure out what help look like to you, right? And then you give them that. And your goal is like, I know I can get a C in this class, but how can I get a B now, right? And then D. And D, I asked the question like, why? Like, why do you got a D? Because in my eyes, to get a D in anything, I mean that you, in high school, I mean, you done a bare minimum. I mean that you know that D is a passing grade and that's what you got, right? Because there's no way. You can just get a D off participation point, in my opinion. So, I mean, you did bare minimum to pass the class, and I'm not happy with that. That's unacceptable. And so now I have a problem with you. Now it's not just me and your teacher, it's me and you. We going back up. I'm gonna be on you. That means I'm gonna examine your life. If I gotta pull you from the basketball team, whatever like that, I need to get to see why you have a D in that, right? So it become personal to me, because that is not acceptable. Your work ethic need to be better than that, right? So the last one I'm talking about F, and I'm like, how? How do you get an F in anything in high school? Because they're telling me F means that you did absolutely nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. So how do you go 20 or 10 weeks and get an F? 10 weeks and get an F, and with all the makeup assignment, you know, and whatever, you know, just being at 10 weeks, you get an F? No, that's unacceptable. So again, this is my grading scale, and this again, I get real firm at this DF point, and that's when I get involved. As a parent, and I tighten up. I'm sitting at the table with you doing your homework. I'm emailing your teachers. I'm making sure that I'm telling your teacher to email me the assignments so I can and you need to show it to me. Your teacher gonna sign off on it, say you turned it in. Like, this is where I get involved at, really involved. But again, this is my grading scale. Yours might be a little bit different. I just want to give you a tip on how I do it. But anyway, this is your Dean of Discipline telling you next time. We're on our last tip. Next tip is our last tip, and I'm done as far as morning.